What's going on, guys? Linus here. Welcome to Europa Universalis IV. Now, I've never played this game on my channel, although I know that a lot of people enjoy it. I would not say that it's similar to Civilization VI. Also, I'm just really bad at, I think, describing the game. But it's a massive strategy game that basically encompasses the entire planet. You pick one country or state to play as, and you sort of develop your nation from there. There's no objective to the game. It's not like Civ in that way. Either way, I don't want to describe the game. I'm just going to be playing it. I also want to point out that if you don't know too much about this game, and perhaps you want to know how to play it and things like that, I am absolutely not the person to listen to. I haven't played it very much. Because of that, if you ever leave a comment saying that I'm terrible or anything like that, I will ignore you because I haven't played this game that much. But recently, I have definitely been enjoying it, so I'm going to be doing a series on it as Holland, my home country, basically. Hopefully, eventually. So basically, what my goal throughout this series will be to play a slightly more challenging country, namely Holland, and basically try to form the Netherlands. That's going to be my main objective. Everything beyond that is going to be bonus. Like I said, I'm not very good at the game. I've really only played as Portugal, Castile, and I've played as Ethiopia a little bit, and that's pretty fun. But this is a little bit more challenging, I think, because it's a small country. It's in the middle of Europe, in the 1400s, so there's still a lot of weird politics going on that I'm not entirely grasping yet. So basically, it should be a train wreck. I hope you guys will join me for that train wreck, though, because you know what they say, a train wreck's not that fun without friends. So I don't think anyone's ever said that, but you know, it's said now. So you can quote me on that. You know, that's at least I'm not a Nazi. All right, so let's jump into the game as Holland under Duke Philippe III, who's a great ruler, and let's jump into the game. I will be playing on normal mode. I normally play on Iron Man because that allows you to earn achievements. However, considering that I'm actually recording this series, it's actually really helpful to be able to reload the game when I inevitably mess up any type of recording or anything else. Like, I just want to have the option to make saves. So for that reason, I will be going with the normal mode. Just want to point that out real quick. Now, if any of you have any questions that you'd like to have answered, then feel free to leave a comment below. Whether it be about like the series in general or the game. I haven't played it that much. I'm still very much a newbie to this game. If you have advice for me, then feel free to leave it in the most nicest of ways, please. Because if you are rude to me, I will be very sad. I do want to point that out. Here we go. We're Holland. We only have two provinces. We have Holland and we have Zeeland, or Zeeland, which is not the New Zealand. I'm just gonna call it Zeeland because if I do the Dutch pronunciation for everything, that's really gonna mess me up. If I have to mix that in with the English, that's gonna mess me up. Also, I don't like doing it, so I won't be doing it. All right. So at the very start, we're gonna choose our mission. We could improve our prestige, which is currently at -4, and try to get it to 50. So that's not going to happen. That takes forever to do in this game, especially as a small nation, so I will not be doing that. We could solidify our papal relations by making the papal state like me, or do the same with Friesland, which is right up there. This is a province of the Netherlands. So is this one, Gaura and Breda. We want to get those, basically. We're just going to have to be... It's going to be tricky. That's all I'm going to say. So this will get us diplomatic relations, while this one will get us extra papal influence every year, which can, if you look in the Holy See, you can actually see how much influence you're getting every year, and then there's like a whole bunch of things that you can spend your influence on, ranging from, you know, extra legitimacy or extra stability in your country. You could get better diplomatic reputation. You could get extra tax modifiers. There's a lot of options there. Basically, papal influence is very valuable because there's so many great little bonuses that you can get. Again, if you think like that I'm doing something wrong, feel free to let me know. I am definitely still learning. And I'm guessing that most of you have probably played this game more than I have. I might be wrong about that actually, but you know, that's what I'm thinking. So we're actually right next to the English Channel trade node. So obviously Holland historically was quite rich by trading a lot and eventually colonizing and doing other horrible things to the rest of the planet. You're welcome for that. Let's see. So our merchants should probably be... Right, they're sending some from Champagne over to the English Channel and from Lubeck. Alright. That works for me, I guess. Like, I guess we could try and send some from the North Sea. But I'm not entirely sure that that change is actually worth it. As the whole merchant thing, I'm still not entirely sure how that works. Like, how does trade steering exactly work? I'm not sure how the numbers work there. So I guess for now we're good. We could also hire an advisor, but that's gonna actually force us to pay some guy a bunch of cash every year, which I'm not sure I like. Also, I have a bunch of DLCs, which I didn't start out playing with these, so it's a bit weird. Only recently got them. But apparently our ruler is calm, meaning that our stability cost modifier is down. So it's a lot cheaper to boost our stability. He's well connected, so we actually have to pay less for advisors. And then also, he's well advised, so we can actually get one extra advisor. Normally there's only 3 in this window, but now there's 4. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna look at that later, though. For now, there's some other very important stuff. So we are Holland. And we've got a lot of diplomatic stuff going on. So we're improving relations with the Papal State. We know that because I did that. However, we're also in a personal union under Burgundy. And we're not the only ones. Let's see. He's got a personal union with Brabant, Flanders, and us. So he's got 3 people under him. This one's a vassal as well. Nevers? Am I saying that correctly? It's this one. So he's got... Alright, he's got this guy, he's got these, he's got them, and then he's got us. So Burgundy's actually a lot larger than it might initially appear on the map. I also want to point out, like, I'm not sure where I can find that. I'm using a mod that makes the map look a lot different. It's on Steam. It's like one of the most popular mods that also allows you to use Iron Man mode. And in my opinion, it makes everything look just a little bit nicer. But, you know, like the default is pretty nice too. But we're in a personal union under Burgundy, meaning that we're basically not a free country. For example, we are not allowed to offer an alliance to someone. We're a subject country. It is not up to us. So we have to escape from this. And the best way to do so would be to ask for support of independence. So obviously France is immediately going to do that. I'm guessing they're not allies. Yep. So they actually consider Burgundy to be their rival and enemy. So they will actually support my independence. And we're going to ask a few other countries, possibly one of the Spanish countries. England will probably not get involved. They don't like me very much. I don't know why, but they don't. They're hostile. Right, because they want my provinces. That makes sense. Like, because I'm right next to the same trade node. I'm guessing they see that if they were to obtain these 2 countries or provinces, they would get a lot more money. So I guess that won't work. Denmark might be another great option, but they're neutral towards myself and also Burgundy, so that will not work. Austria, neutral, very much neutral. All the Ottomans are definitely not going to get involved. I know that. Who might get involved? Alright, basically we're going to have to suck up to some really big countries and basically just ask them to help me out. Alright, well they won't do it. So one thing that we could do is actually look for enemies of Burgundy. England is an enemy of them. So if we send a diplomat to England and kind of suck up to them for a little while, they might support me as well. If we get England and France to both team up on Burgundy, that might be a lifesaver. I know that in some situations Denmark will join you, but I guess we're going to have to wait. Also, we have 16 ships available. We have 4 little transport ships, and we have 12 light ships that we can actually use to protect our trade in the English Channel. I guess to protect us from privateers and things like that, so that's cool. We also have 5 armies. I'm going to keep the transports here, obviously, because they can't do anything. We have 5 armies, consisting of 4 infantry and 1 knight. And we could train 2 more, which I actually will do. Just to have that bit of a larger army. We have the manpower to actually afford that. And with that said, I think we're almost done with the early game stuff. I'm going to wait 4 days just to get that extra... Alright, so France is now supporting our independence. That's good. Meaning that if I were to declare war on Burgundy now, France will be on my side. Which is awesome. We just gotta wait for somebody to pick a fight with Burgundy. Okay, I don't want an alliance with these guys. They got a lot of friends, including myself, but I'm gonna break free. Just you watch me. Provence might work. No, they're friendly towards Burgundy. Okay. Alright, well, not much that we can do. We're just gonna have to wait. I'm actually gonna send a diplomat to improve relations with England. It's gonna suck up to their British butts and make them like us, and that way, hopefully in the future, they're also gonna join my little resistance movement. I'm not going to speed up the game too much. Like, I'm going to be playing on kind of low speed for a little bit. Although, why? Why would I do that? Let's speed it up a little bit. But basically, you don't want to go too quickly. Alright, so our neighbors, Friesland, are allied with Dithmarschen. Austria is getting a lot. I mean, a lot of alliances there. They already have 5. So they're like overextending a little bit there. They're already rivals with the Ottomans. Then again, yes, the Ottomans are very dangerous, obviously. I wish they would join me. That would be helpful. So our main thing for now, all that we can really do is strive for independence from Burgundy. Since, you know, if we're their vassal, we're not allowed to make any calls ourselves. We need to get away from these people. Alright, so our heir is actually kind of sucky, so I'm gonna go ahead and... okay. How old is he? Oh, he's 11. Alright, so once he's 15 years old, we're actually gonna use him as a general, and hoping that maybe he will die in the field of battle, if that is possible. Because I think that might not be our leader. That is actually the leader of the personal union that we're in, so that would be the leader of Burgundy. Which is a bummer. Alright, still very, very much hostile. I need some strong countries to help me out. Like, having France as an ally in that war is going to be very useful. However, it might not be enough since we're going to be going up against Burgundy, Flanders, Brabant, and which one? This one, Nevers. We're also going to go up against them. So that's a lot of units. That is a very large army. So we got to be careful, and we got to really hope that France will actually help us out, like if they actually send a lot of troops, because if they don't, I'm gonna be in trouble. It's not gonna be pretty. Just like France. So we gotta be careful there, and get some other allies. For years now, the imperial authority over the Kingdom of Italy has been waning. Successive emperors have failed to impose their will on the Italian states, and large areas that are formerly part of the empire have been lost to Venice and the Papal States, who reject the Empire's right to them. Unless northern Italy is firmly brought back into the Empire, the states there may slip out of imperial control forever. Unless all of the region of the Kingdom of Italy is part of the Empire before 1490 and stays inside it until 1550, the states there are likely to leave the Empire. That's good to know, and we only really get a message there because we are in the Empire. Although, we're like a very small, I guess, party there. We're not an elector. We don't get to choose who becomes the next emperor. Basically, we don't get to do anything. Now, I'm actually going to do this. There's basically several reforms. Geez, I just stuttered really badly, Jesus. There's several reforms that you can vote for, and they all just seem to be really positive. So I'm definitely going to be for, like, all of these. Because why wouldn't I? Into a nation state. Unite the Holy Empire. Okay, actually that's one I don't want. Don't want that either. Always inherited by the same country. Okay, I actually don't want that. Okay, so I only really looked at the first few. So they're like the first four are actually really nice, where you get like more tax income. Actually, that's the emperor, but we get diplomatic reputation that goes up. We got extra legitimacy, less unrest, and extra or lower development and construction cost. So that's pretty nice. Like all these first couple reforms are actually quite good. It's the later ones that get a bit tricky, where it gives the emperor maybe too much power. Now, one thing that we could do is reduce the maintenance on our army. Because that would save us a bit of cash. At the same time, you never know when we're going to have to go to war. And it might be sooner than I think. Why are you so hostile, England? Damn you. I just want to be best buddies. Now, I am lucky that they don't see me as an enemy or as a rival. That's good, because most of this stuff is like kind of randomized, where it changes depending on the game you're playing. Like sometimes, you know, France and or England and like the Netherlands area don't get along. Other times they do. It's like it's a bit strange that way, but it keeps it fresh at least. Like every time you play, a lot of different stuff can happen. A lot of different stuff. Now I haven't actually played to the end of the game, so I know that. Like, towards the end, there's some really strange things that start happening. But I haven't really been there yet, so I have no idea. I am excited to see it, though. Very much so. So I'm going to lower my army maintenance to about 1 ducat. Yeah, it's a nice round number. And that way we earn a little bit more money, and we could potentially hire an advisor. I feel like we could definitely benefit from having more prestige. Trade efficiency doesn't really help right now. Yeah. I want to grab the prestige guy. And we actually pay a lot less. Like normally you pay 1 ducat a year, but because we have that ruler, which is, you know, the ruler Burgundy, we only pay 0.8 ducat every month. Which is a lot cheaper. Might actually be worth it to hire this guy as well. See, our trade is like going up a bit. So we're earning a little bit more from trade while we're also paying this guy. But more importantly, we're getting these Monarch points, which are incredibly valuable. You need these for like every decision that you make. So mostly our technology, later on our ideas. Oh boy. Our old monarch has decided to die a little too soon. Our heir is not quite ready to assume the role of monarch. Isabella will now be ruling our nation until our heir comes of age. Unlike with the Regency Council, we will still be able to declare wars. Actually, that's kind of nice. So, this is now our... This is the heir. Right, so what happens if this lady dies? I don't really know what's going on, but the chance of a new heir is actually going up with her, because apparently she is fertile. So that's good. For, I guess, Burgundy, not for me, right? Pretty sure that is not my ruler. No, it is not. I have actually seen it happen that sometimes the personal union with Burgundy just sort of implodes somehow. I'm not entirely sure why that happens, but it's very helpful when it does. Right, enemy Burgundy. Neutral attitudes toward Burgundy. They're not neutral. That's their enemy. Their ruler is cruel. And they don't much like me. Okay. That's fair enough. We're gonna try to find someone that will actually join me. Alright, it tells about the event of the surrender of Maine. Were among the possible options. They went with time to teach them how to war. So England will declare war on France, and France will take control of Maine. Which is right there. So basically, at this part, they go to war. I believe this happens like every game, and basically France ends up taking, at least usually, ends up taking Bordeaux, like all these areas that England has occupied. They just kind of take them back. And that's kind of how that goes. I'm actually going to stop improving my relations with England, because clearly that's not working out. And it is not getting me the support that I was looking for. Right, I kind of want to try. Oh, he's excommunicated, that's why he's red. Okay. I want to try to get Aragon to help me. Because they are already like a pretty nice and big country. But they also have these islands. And they have Naples in a personal union under them, so they're actually quite large. So having their assistance against Burgundy might be a bit of a lifesaver. Still hoping for Burgundy to make some enemies that are actually going to help me out here. But they're still England's still very hostile. They're at war with France now. That's not going to be pretty. Because they are basically like the English have a large navy, as you can see right there. So they're going to blockade the English Channel and whatnot. Whereas they don't have many ground troops in this area. So France will be able to just take these provinces without much happening. Resulting in, you know, defeat for England, where they basically have to give up these provinces. That's usually how it goes. Do not quote me on that though, because like I said, still kind of new to the game. I am absolutely going to make mistakes in situations like this. Burgundy, please. Could you let me go? Could you just release me? That'd be cool. I mean, I would love to get Austria, but they're friendly towards Burgundy. So that's not working. And that's basically it. Like, these are basically your four options. Denmark, Austria, France, and England. And apparently Denmark does not really care one way or another. I'm guessing we just don't really have any mutual interests right now. I'm gonna try to maybe get Denmark to join me here. Because it looks like Aragon isn't even like on the edge of helping me out. They just feel neutral one way or another. And they're actually friendly towards Burgundy, which in itself is just bad for me. They're neutral. Meaning that they might be convinced. I hope that that's what it means. I don't know. I do not know. Like a more experienced player, I'm sure would have been released from his personal union by now. Whereas I'm just still kind of like looking around and sort of just seeing what the options are. I want to try and like, I'm probably going to take it really slow on this series. I want to warn you guys right away. I'm not going to destroy the entirety of Europe and rule it like a second Hitler. It's not going to happen. Okay, so Sweden's in a personal union under Denmark. That's not going to work, is it? Why is everybody so neutral towards me? Does anybody like love me? Except for these people that are also in the union. Okay. Right, so opinion of me, the Papal State likes me. But they're neutral. Apparently the Pope is cruel. They're neutral towards Burgundy. That's another reason they don't want to. Apparently my army's not strong enough. Yeah, they're not going to join me. That's not going to be it. We're just going to have to be patient and hope that we can get either Denmark, Austria, or England involved. But obviously England is currently fighting a very different war with someone else. Another thing that we could do is wait for Burgundy to go to war and then declare war on them while they're fighting some larger enemy. Probably maybe this area. Is that Savoy or Savoie? I'm not really sure. But if they fight them, that's like, you know, they're large enough. Or, well, Austria, obviously, they're not going to fight. But something like that. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. Maybe Provence, because they're usually allied with... Okay, they're not allied with France. That's weird. Alright. Bribes are not an uncommon practice, and with the right amount of money, we could perhaps manage to influence a cardinal to infiltrate a religious order. We could say do it or let it drop and gain a little bit of prestige. Thing is, prestige, like we're already earning that every year. I'm going to grab that papal influence right away. Because that's kind of nice. I want to try to get to some of these boosts as soon as possible because, you know, some of those are really powerful. Like, especially the one that gives you plus 15% extra taxes is that's very powerful. Definitely worth trying to grab it. Alright, so mostly we're just waiting for either a diplomatic ally or saving up our monarch points, which right now is going pretty smoothly because we have extra advisors and we got a pretty good regent who's not quite as good as the ruler before, but she's not bad. So we're just going to save up for our technology, which gives, you know, the opportunity to make buildings or just give, you know, give it stronger army, increase your trade range, things like that. It's all great. So you do want technology. You are not going to ignore that in this game. So that is basically the dealio. However, guys, I just noticed that this part is already getting pretty long. I want to thank all of you for watching. Since this is the first part of a series, please consider leaving a like if you enjoyed it. Smash that motherfucking like button. That's how the cool kids say these days. So, you know, go ahead and do that if you want to, or if you don't want to, then that's cool too. And then if you have any tips or tricks or stuff like that, feel free to let me know. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the next part. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you soon.